Hi, this is Wishop, and I'm back with a video, and it's March 3rd, 2016. So this isn't exactly a video for the last full moon, which I missed. I was kind of traveling, and also I flipped the cards to see if I should try to do the video while I was traveling, and they were kind of discouraging. So I decided to wait until now, and now we're sort of in between because we're in between the full moon, but there's a very exciting new moon coming up on the 8th, a new moon in Pisces, which also is a solar eclipse. So it's a big deal astrologically and astronomically if you're into that kind of thing, because we're back into eclipse season. And so since eclipses come in pairs, we're going to have the solar eclipse on March 8th in Pisces. We're going to have the lunar eclipse on March 23rd in Libra. So an interesting thing about both these signs is that they are about pairings. Pisces is thought of as the fish, very sensitive, dreamy, but also very wise, very poetic, very artistic. Libra is also a great relationship sign, and we've got the two scales, and we're sort of weighing things in the mental realm. We're evaluating questions of fairness and diplomacy and relationship building. So what's interesting about these two is that they're both about pairings. Libra is about getting the balance, and with Pisces, you have these two squiggling fish, and in some depictions, they look like they're curving into each other, like the yin and yang. But in the drawing for the symbol of Pisces, it looks like two fish curving away from each other, but connected in the middle. So I think that as we deal with this set of eclipses, you're being asked, where are there areas where you may be at war with yourself? I think that the lightning energy means that the transformations we're going through now, while very dramatic, feel a lot better. It's almost like we've entered this strange wonderland. So I was thinking about it earlier, and the transformations for me have been tremendous, and maybe they have been for you too, but it's been like being hit by a freight train from Candyland, right? It's cotton candy and cookies and sugar. There's a lot of sweetness to it, and it doesn't really hurt, even though it's still a little bit shocking. But it's also surprising and amusing, and all those kinds of ideas, which I think is why I chose the Whimsical tarot for today, because it's got that sort of storybook basis. I think that another idea I thought of, well, I'll share briefly and then get to the cards, is the idea that I know a kid who used to get very freaked out on her birthday because everybody would be gathered around to sing happy birthday and to say, blow out your candle and make a wish. And the stress of being asked to make the wish and everybody looking at her was so stressful that she would start crying. And so we have all these pictures of her with cake in her mouth and frosting all over her face and tears still drying on her cheeks. And I think right now the universe is trying to give us all the gifts that we said we wanted. And you can deal with it like you're at a Mad Hatter's tea party or like you're in a bouncy castle, and you can just flow with it and realize that you're getting something even better than you thought you wanted. Or you can stress out about it, like, did I get the wish right? Did I do it all right? Is it going to look right in the eyes of other people? And stress yourself out. And then you're still going to get the cake. You really are still going to get the cake. There's no lesson, there's no blessing that you're going to miss. But I just think it isn't going to be as much fun for you or me if we do it that way. So try to remember it's a little bit of a wild Alice in Wonderland kind of ride right now, and to have a good time with it, because the transformations are still coming, but they don't have to feel as stressful now. You're not being asked to do the same kind of drudgery, hard work that you were doing before. Things are rolling a lot more downhill if you can flow with it. So let's see what the cards have to say about all that. And I'll get 3 tarot cards, and then we're going to have oracle cards from the Brownies deck. Oh, the Star in reverse. 2 of Pentacles, upright. The World, upright. Can you stand it? Okay, so let's start with the Star. In this deck, the Star is the blue fairy. And, we can see that the Star is basically granting a wish. But the Star can indicate things, as it does in Lenormand, things that feel a little remote, like you're wishing on a star for something to happen. And if you see, let me see if I pull this up, if you can sort of look. I'm going to try to focus this. Let's see if I can do it. Can you see that this girl underneath looks a little wistful? Not totally like just dancing with joy, but a little bit like waiting for things to happen. And when I see this beautiful lily here, I think of purity, but I also think of patience, possibly because of crosstalk with the Lenormand cards. But this star is lovely, is hopeful, is beautiful. But in reverse, sometimes a card like this would mean, not yet. Well, in this case, I think it's saying you don't need to wish on the star anymore, because here's the World card and you've got it. See, now you're the fairy godmother. You see, here's the book, here's the heart, here are the magic slippers, here's the wreath of victory, and now you're the one holding the wand. You don't have to wish on the star anymore because you've now become the fairy godmother. So you can not only enjoy your blessings, but you will now have blessings to share with others, if that makes sense. And the thing that is interesting about this is we have the 2 of Pentacles, and if you recognize this story, this is Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and I forget what the third line is, but and together they lick the plate clean. That this is a marriage of opposites. A lot of times we see the 2 of Pentacles and we think of it as juggling. I'm juggling competing responsibilities. But here, these responsibilities are in harmony. This couple could not be happier. And didn't I say that this is about pairings? Like Pisces is that pairing of your deepest intuition, and Libra is the pairing of your logical mind. And you're trying to establish this harmonious balance between all those things. And this couple is sitting beneath a picture of 2 hearts tied together that says home sweet home. And they're happy. They're different. They're very different from each other, but they're happy. This doesn't have the sense that the juggling is hard. We have the sense here that their differences provide interest and provide joy and are cheerfully accommodated. So that, I think, is what we're looking at. If you feel like there are issues where you're at war with yourself, see where you can make peace by appreciating each side of the story, if you will, each side of yourself. It could be your past, your future. It could be your creative side and your practical side. It could be, this is a partner that you're thinking about. And instead of seeing their differences as being, annoyances, you really see how valuable they are. Because in the Sprat household, the fact that he eats all of one thing and she eats all of the other thing means nothing goes to waste, means everything gets enjoyed by somebody. So that is a way to think about the 2 of Pentacles, which is not so challenging as feeling like, you're juggling. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say with this whole bouncy castle, Mad Hatter Tea Party talk. This shouldn't feel so much like work anymore. This should have a lot more fun and joy and companionship about it. So wherever it is you're making peace with these sense of pairings, these opposites, do expect blessings in that area of your life, because they're coming, and they're not coming later. They're not coming like, once upon a time and, in the future. They're kind of here, right? Within this very compressed time period, they're here. So this this month is a very exciting month. And the question is, after you've waited so long and worked so hard, when your wishes come true, can you really enjoy it? Because they are making you a different person, and it is a person that you asked to be. But they may come through in very surprising ways. And so to embrace that whole picture and to integrate it and make it a part of you harmoniously, I think is the call for the month, and a very exciting one. So let's see what the foundation card is. Oh, there we go. Foundation card, 9 of Swords. Okay, so this would typically be in the Rider-Waite-Smith thing, the nightmare card, right? And here we can see this is the Rapunzel card. And all of her hair has been cut off. So she can no longer let her lover upstairs because all her hair has been cut off. And she's convinced she has nothing. Now, what's important to know about the Rapunzel story is that it has a happy ending. It's kind of a little scary because they wander in the wilderness and they go through trials and all of this stuff. But it has a happy ending. You know, they get there happily ever after. And actually, let me show you this. But the point is, do you want to make it like this? Does it have to be through trials and suffering and woe? Or would you like to take your happy ending now and run with it? If your happy ending happens to look exciting and wonderful, but just that little bit off angle from what you expected, is that okay? Can you let the worry go and just rise with it? So let's see the Brownies Oracle. The card we get is, oh, look at that, Dilemma. Great, I love it. It in fact is the dilemma. And you can see, although brownies tend to travel in bunches, in this case, here we have the brownie whose hat has been knocked off, and there is the ram. And we might think of the ram as Aries, for example, and the brownie is usually one of a bunch. So if we think of this as being sort of Aries, the bold, single-minded kind of character who wants what it wants, and it's the baby of the zodiac, and it's bursting forth. The question is, can you let your consensus-minded self, your self that wants the approval of other people, even the self that you were before or that you're used to, can you get out of the way? Can you get that person out of the way so that you can enjoy what's coming? I think that's an interesting question. So, and I'm keeping in mind for myself, I really am. So the Brownies Oracle card deck also comes with these little verses in a small poker-sized deck. So I shuffled those up. So here's one of those, and let's see what we've got. This world gives one the finest chance some person's comfort to advance. So one way to think about this is this character looks very uncomfortable. And when we say some person's comfort to advance, it looks like this person feels that their chance has been made to make other people comfortable. This is a chance to make yourself comfortable, to leave this awkwardness. Like, look at these two standing characters. Could there be a bigger difference, right, between the way this character looks, all sort of knock-kneed and twisted and confused, and the way she looks? Easy, comfortable, casual, feeling good. I think that the challenge of these eclipses is not going to be what they bring. I think they're bringing wondrous, fabulous, exciting miracles. I think the challenge of these eclipses are going to be not, did you make all your affirmations right? Did you make your visualizations properly? I don't think that's what this is about. This is when wonders and miracles and joyous synchronicities come your way. Are you willing to embrace them as your deserved due? So rock on with your bad selves and have a great eclipse season. Bye.